Mic check, 1, 2.
Mic check, mic check. Is Mike here?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, mics are on. Perfect. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabi.
And I'm Mike.
And I don't know if you saw Mike, but I was in the chat before we actually started today's live video. And Dale said, mystery of the day, will they start on time? And I said, no.
Did we?
Probably not. No, we didn't. We're 1 minute late. But thank you guys so much for waiting. As always, this is a live video, which means we're doing it in real time. No notes, no cheat sheets, no nothing. This is all stored in our head, and if we fall down or mess up, you'll see it live, that's the beauty of it. Isn't it so much fun?
It is.
Of course, I start off our lives the same way, so if you want to get into the actual walkthrough of the vehicle, skip to around the 3-minute mark. That is if you're watching in the future. If you're watching it live with us now, you're stuck with us for a bit. So number one, we are a real dealership and we actually sell cars, and we do these videos for 3 separate reasons. Reason number one is you may be an owner of a Kia or Hyundai vehicle. We want to be your owner's manual, cheat sheet, guidelines. We want to tell you everything there is to know about your car that your salesperson may have not told you. And number two, if you're in the market for a vehicle and you're considering or even haven't considered a Kia or a Hyundai, we'd like to be obviously the go-to spot for all your information, walk around for the vehicles, different type, anything you need to know to help you with your buying decision. And then number 3, if you do land on purchasing a Kia or Hyundai vehicle and you live in Ontario, which is in Canada, why not buy from one of our stores? So I work at Brantford Kia every single day, and that's where we film. Mike works at Brantford Hyundai, which is about 10 minutes down the road. And then we also have another store on the outskirts of Ontario called Owen Sound Hyundai. So 2 Hyundai stores, 1 Kia store, 3 stores altogether, and all 3 of those stores will be happy to help you out with your car buying journey.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe they won't do your purchase for you.
Let's show them how to get on this channel.
Yes. All right, perfect. So if you guys want to catch our next live video, all you have to do is go to our channel, which of course is the Kia Hyundai channel. And if you're watching this video, you already found us. Why not subscribe while you're here? Please. Yes. And you'll see if it's a weekday at around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll have a video that says upcoming. All you have to do is click on that as you would a regular YouTube video. It'll take a couple seconds, but it'll load you in, and then you'll see me times a lot. It's gonna
a picture and a picture and a picture, and then after you go right here and you click right here real quick.
Yeah, you just click the like button. Definitely not the button beside it, or Mike will cry himself to sleep. I'm gonna like this video, but you guys can see up here we have some questions rolling through in our live chat box. So that's where you guys can ask us if you have any questions about the vehicle that we're filming, any vehicle by Kia or Hyundai specifically, or if you just want to say hello. We love saying hi to you guys and chatting up a storm with you guys.
Exactly. So, already questions about this vehicle. What are we shooting today, Gabi?
Great question. We didn't even mention that yet. This is the 2023 Hyundai Elantra Luxury. So this is not the luxury hybrid. It's still a regular naturally aspirated engine, regular gasoline, all of that. Great on gas, great price point, great features, and a couple luxury features as the name suggests. So before we hop in, or I bring you guys in, I'm going to turn the lights on so we can see the full exterior look of this vehicle.
I'll give you guys a little side profile.
Okie dokie. So now that the full lights are on, I'll show you guys what we're working with. So this is the beautiful 2023 Hyundai Elantra. The styling is classic. You guys have probably seen it for a while, but on the luxury is where you'll get this beautiful dark chrome accent in your front grille. One thing I do wish is that they matched the Hyundai logo to the front grille, but nonetheless, it still looks phenomenal. A bunch of different paint colors. Now we just have a regular black here, but there's even a beautiful green option. So it's a dark, almost grayish green, looks so good. Such a sporty looking car, and honestly, the true pleasure of this vehicle is when you are a driver. It is so driver focused. Nonetheless, it still has a lot of great styling aspects and a lot of safety features. So as we're talking about the grille, I can't really show you this, but it does have a lot of driver assistance features, namely the forward collision avoidance. So with this forward collision avoidance, we've had it in quite a few of our cars for a while now. But this vehicle features a much more advanced version of this. It'll pick up pedestrians, cyclists, and it'll even work in junctions. So if you're making a left turn at a busy intersection, it will either brake for you or give you a warning call, audible message if there is the risk of a collision as you're making a left turn. Now we'll take a look at the headlights real quick. So you can see we have beautiful LED daytime running lights, but the main headlight unit is a projection halogen bulb. So you get a mix, the best of both worlds, I'll say. Of course, it's nice to have the futuristic look of the LEDs and of course the brightness, but with a real halogen bulb, it will emit heat. So if you are living somewhere nice and cold like Canada, it's gonna melt some snow and ice off your headlight unit, which is pretty nice. That's one thing I miss about my old car. Now for our wheels, we have 17-inch alloy wheels with this beautiful design. So we got some dark, some lights in there. Absolutely beautiful and stunning in motion. For your mirror, I'll have Mike quickly show that we do have a turn signal indicator light, and that is an LED. So in action, actually, let me just turn my hazards on so you guys can see that. Check it out. Look good?
Yeah.
All right. The sound of the hazards kills me. And now one thing, so this may not be a crazy feature for you guys, but it's probably one of the most convenient things I can think of in a vehicle, and that is this little button on our door handle. So essentially, as long as I have the key somewhere on me, it could be in my pocket, in my purse, anything, I can just walk up to my vehicle, press this button, it'll either lock it or unlock it for me. So I never really have to touch my key if I don't want to. And then on top of that, it is a push to start vehicle, so you seriously never have to touch your key. I will say Kia key fobs and Hyundai key fobs don't seem to die that quickly compared to some other brands like Mazda, for example. Not to name drop, but those batteries die really fast. So I've gone years without changing my key fob. You won't really have to use your real key at all. Now, for the back, check this out. You'll never forget where you're driving because we have beautiful Elantra written all throughout the back of the vehicle. And then your tail lights extend all the way through the rear of the vehicle. These are LED taillights, which I can hit the brakes for you guys to show you. Sorry, I'm going to go around you, Mike.
Oh, sorry. I was like, where's she going? While
Focus on the car.
Yeah, exactly. While she's doing that, I'll just knock off a couple other factors. So the MSRP on this is $26,949, so about $27,000. And you got 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers for mixed city and highway. 7.6 liters if you're just doing city, 5.7 on highway, so good average there. All right, back to the brakes.
All right, check out those tail lights and those brakes.
Sorry, the taillights. Yeah, there we go. Signal?
Oh.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. We'll close that up. Another thing I love about this vehicle, and this is another small thing, but again, makes your life so convenient. It has a latch for your lift gate or tailgate. So give this a push, opens up for you. You can also do it from your key fob or from inside the vehicle with your lever. And then you have access to your trunk. So you have a lot of space in this trunk. Honestly, it's very deceiving because of how dark it is in here. But seriously, lengthwise, it is so, so deep. You can put golf clubs in here. You can put, I don't know, Mike, what would you put in here?
Not myself, but yeah, obviously groceries. You know what? If you got a small family, everything break down and fit in here. Stroller,
Absolutely.
You know,
All right,
kitty bin. I forget what it's called.
All right, lifting underneath, we have a compact spare tire. So if you are shopping for a vehicle in this size class, you're probably going to come across the Kia Forte. And now this is a totally non-biased opinion because I sell Kias and I drive a Kia Forte, but none of the Forte trim levels come with a spare tire. So if this is a must-have for you or you love the peace of mind of a spare, the Elantras do have it, the Fortes don't. So here we go.
I like a spare tire.
It's nice to have, especially if you're doing a lot of, it's a commuter vehicle, right? If you're driving on the highway a lot, lots of construction zones, it's definitely nice to have a real spare with you. I don't know if I mentioned already, but the back seats do fold down. So you have these pull tabs here, which you'll pull to unlock the seats, and then you'll just give it a slight push, and then your rear seats are down. All right, backup camera is right over here, but I'll show you what the actual camera looks like when we hop inside the vehicle. We'll get a nice last shot of the rear and the body of the vehicle. One thing I love about the Elantra, of course, the styling is very, very sleek. It's definitely a bit less sporty than the Forte and more, I guess, sophisticated modern. I love the parametric folds that are throughout the body line.
Yeah,
So it gives it, it's probably hard to pick up on camera, right?
No, we can get it when we come in here. You can kind of see from that angle.
Yeah.
And then this angle too.
I think it looks so good.
Yeah.
One more thing before we hop inside, actually. I feel like I always keep saying one more thing. We're going to look under the hood. Hopefully it's clean.
Well, this thing was just unwrapped, so
Yes, it just came off the truck.
any dust would be from Korea, and there are none.
All right.
There we go.
So under the hood, this is a 2-liter 4-cylinder gasoline engine with an IVT transmission. The horsepower is 147 and the torque is 132 pound-feet of torque. This is not a race car.
Don't worry, I'll let it
That's for
drop.
sure. Oh,
I'll
okay.
take the blame. There we go.
I'm so sorry. Rest in peace, headphone users. Okay, so definitely not a race car, but it's super, super good on gas, very efficient, and it still has quite a good amount of pep in its step when you put it into sport mode, and then on top of that, you still have a normal and a smart drive mode. All right, let's take a look inside. Mike, I'll let you do a quick pan before I hop in.
Perfect.
With the luxury trim level, you get the synthetic leather seating inside. It's heated for 3 different levels for both the driver and passenger seats. On top of that, you also have a premium sound system. In particular, this is Bose, and it has 8 speakers.
This is your favorite one.
Yeah, Bose is definitely my favorite premium sound system that Kia or Hyundai does. It sounds so, so good.
Check out the design of the seats too.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah, the bolstering and just gives it a nice sporty look. Very, very, very sleek. Good lines, especially in one of these vehicles. The way it's designed inside and out, I find reflect on each other.
All right, and if some of you guys are regulars on this channel, you know I drive a Kia Forte. I love my car, I absolutely love it, and that's the sister car to this vehicle. So same engine, same transmission, a lot of similarities, but there's quite a few differences, and today I drove this back from our Hyundai dealership, and I have to say, inside it definitely feels quite a bit more spacious than a Kia Forte. Now, if you're a Forte lover, don't come for me. I literally drive one. I love it too, but that is something I did notice. And another thing, it has my favorite steering wheel.
Yeah.
Hyundai scored it out of the park with this one. This steering wheel is phenomenal. It's leather wrapped, so it is heated. And then you have these extra little spokes here, which make driving so comfortable. Not that it's usually uncomfortable, but just these extra, I don't know. Mike, don't you love it too?
Yeah, depending on how you answer it, but I drive like this.
Yeah, I love
like
to
it
drive with the steering wheel like
Yeah.
this. I can't. I hate getting into my regular car after driving. Like, I drove the Santa Cruz this weekend, has the same steering wheel as this, fell in love. Anyway, that's just personal. On the left side over here, we have our classic Bluetooth and media controls. So you can see our voice commands here, our volume controls, and then a phone button, so to answer and decline. We also have mode, which will cycle between your different media modes, whether it be AM radio, Bluetooth, FM, or Sirius XM, which you also get in this trim level. Hyundai logo in the center with some nice almost aluminum or satin chrome accents. And then on the right side, we have some driver assistance. So I'm just going to take the camera from Mike and show you in depth what we're talking about. This button over here is going to cycle between your different menus. And check that out. That is a fully digital 10.25 inch gauge cluster. So super informative, of course, shows you your speedometer and your tachometer. Then updates instantly. And then in the center, we can control what we're viewing. So we can see our compass, our drive info, as well as your accumulated mileage, attention level, and your tire pressure. You can also see where you're at in your lanes, and then back to our compass. Now, fun thing about this compass or navigation screen is if you did have a route set in your Hyundai navigation, you can tell I usually film Kias. In our Hyundai navigation, it'll show you your turn-by-turn right up there. So if you set the address to, I don't know, the Linden Park Mall, it'll tell me take a left on the Linden Street, left into the mall, and it's right in front of you, so you don't really have to take your eyes off the road at all. You don't have to revert your attention to the center of the vehicle. It's great. I absolutely love it. A couple more buttons I'll show you before Mike hops in the passenger side. We have our brightness adjustment here, so this is great if you need to on the fly change how bright your screens are. You also have your lane keep assist button where you can turn the system on or off. And then we have our traction control. I just realized I didn't finish the side of the steering wheel. Oh my goodness. Okay. Another feature that you get in this vehicle is your smart cruise control. So when you press this, it'll turn on your cruise control. You'll set your speed with these toggles here. And then with this button right over here, it looks like a car with little lines behind it. This is where you're going to set your following distance. So it gives you 4 separate presets, and those are preset distances of the vehicle ahead of you. Now, if the car ahead of you stops, like a complete stop or just slows down, your vehicle will slow down as well. You do not have to put your foot on the brake. Once you do put your foot on the brake, though, it will turn off your cruise control like any regular cruise control would do. All right, Mike.
That's what that does? I thought it was to spit oil out if someone's chasing you and they slip in the... No, I'm joking.
How long have you worked?
That was a joke. That was a dad joke. My bad.
I never know when Mike's joking. I really don't know.
Because I have a straight face when I do it? Or is it because I'm always smiling no matter what?
I think it's because they're horrible jokes.
Yeah, I know. They're dad jokes. I'm allowed to tell dad jokes. I've been noticing this, like popping in and out is just...
The ambient lighting.
I love how sharp it is. It almost looks like a sticker. It's so sharp, but it's not. Like, you know, it's just so clear and so solid.
Now, Mike, that you're in here, what's one thing you definitely notice?
you, and sitting in the car.
Yes.
I noticed the curve of the display on the dash, and obviously the ambient lighting.
Yes. Okay, so that's a big thing. One thing I notice as a driver is everything's geared towards me. So this is very much a driver-focused vehicle. Mike's like, oh, I was going to say that next.
No, because it feels like school where the teacher asks, what is this? And I always say not the answer. And she goes, yeah, that's a good one.
One day you'll get it. Yeah. Anyway, guys, so it's very driver-focused. I don't know if you can tell here, very similar to a Corvette. We have this band here that separates the driver area to the rest of the vehicle. This vehicle truly feels like it was meant for you while you're driving it. Again, with all the safety settings, you can turn them off, you can customize them, you can have your save driver preset. So if you are sharing this with another member of your household, you'll have all of your stuff saved, and then the second driver can have all their stuff saved. This goes for the radio, the safety features, everything. But once you're behind the wheel, seriously, everything is geared towards you. Now, this is convenient for the driver. What are some inconveniences you might run into as a passenger, Mike, if you wanted to turn on your heated seat?
Yeah, it's this bar in the middle here, and it's not meant for me. I think it's meant for you when you're kind of turning and you... I don't know who it's meant for, actually. But yeah, I know, it is very driver-focused. Yes. I don't know if you remember the older Infinities. You could see that the GX, so on and so forth, everything did kind of curve towards. So, you know, with that type of inspiration for the driver, it's amazing. But yeah, I mean, in the passenger seat, let's be a little bit honest here. You're kind of in your own world, right? Yep. You're kind of on your own roller coaster.
But I will say that gives me the illusion of a driver of so much space for me. And I realize as a passenger, you have a good amount of space too. Because that space is all yours. Yeah,
exactly.
Right?
And that's the thing is I do feel it's a lot wider, right? Yeah. It's a lot wider. So, I mean, when we jump in the back, I think the view I'll show them from there will really, you'll kind of get that depth perception on it, right?
Yeah. All right, let's talk about features now. So again, in the center, we have another 10.25-inch display. This has built-in navigation, Sirius XM, and then of course your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now for your CarPlay and Android Auto, it does have to be plugged in, so it's not wireless. Your USB to do so is right down here. So you'll see it's labeled as USB. Then on the right side, we have another USB, but this one is just for charging. So it won't do any data transfer. Now, to the left of that, we have another 12 volts. Sorry, this area is always so hard to film just because of the angle. Oh, you got it? Okay, perfect. So a 12 volts that you can use for other small appliances. Up here, we have some climate control panels. So heated seats, of course, 3 different levels for both the driver and passenger. Then in between, we have our front and rear defrost, our recirculated air, or our fresh air. Right up above, we have the rest of our climate control. You can tell it's automatic. And it's dual climate, so that means my passenger can have their temperature set to whatever they like. So again, we're in 2 separate portions of the car. You know what I mean? It's kind of split. So we also have a heated steering wheel right up here. And then we have separate controls of our fans. So if you don't want to use automatic climate control, you can manually select how quick you want your fans to be or how powerful your fans are. We can shut this off and then work our way up. So we have this instrument panel over here, and these are all real physical buttons to get you to anything on the main screen. So you'll see if I press setup over here and then we pay attention to our main screen up here, it'll take me to my setup menu. Nice and easy. Same thing if I press map, it'll take me to my map. So it's always nice to have these real physical buttons because then you don't have to cycle through any screens, and it also makes it a bit easier for the passenger if they want to go to anything on the screen.
But you can do everything here, right? On the screen instead?
You can't do everything.
Not everything,
but you can get to the most popular menus for sure. So I'm just going to go to setup again really quickly and then vehicle and show you guys some more safety settings that come in this trim level. So of course, driving convenience, I already mentioned our smart cruise control, but we also have highway drive assist. So this is a mix of navigation data, a smart cruise control, your forward collision avoidance, your speed limit sensors, everything. So this vehicle is going to know if the speed limit changes on the highway that you're on. It's going to monitor the distance of the vehicle ahead of you. It's also going to monitor where you are in your lane and just drive for you pretty much. Now you still have to give some driver input, you still have to hold your steering wheel, you still have to pay attention to the road of course, but it's a super seamless system. I absolutely love it. Now if you're not a fan of your vehicle adjusting to the speed limit for you, you can turn it off, but it will still maintain a safe distance from the vehicle ahead of you, meaning if they slow down because there's an obstacle on the road or just traffic slows down, your vehicle will still slow down. It's just not going to do it because the speed limit changed. Yes. Cool, eh? Warning timing, if you find your warnings are a bit too early, you can always set them to be later or vice versa. Warning methods, you can change the volume, also change how it alerts you. as well as driver attention warning. This vehicle will let you know when the car ahead of you has left. This is great for drive-throughs, like food drive-throughs, but also good for stop and go traffic and just being at a red light if you're not paying too much attention, if you're kind of in la la land, which you shouldn't be, but it happens. This vehicle will let you know when the car ahead of you has left.
People don't use their phones at red lights, do they?
I don't know. They do. So forward collision avoidance, like I mentioned, so it picks up pedestrians, cyclists, and junction turns. You can have it actively assist you, and this means that it will actually brake for you if it senses a risk, or you can have it just give you a warning, or you can shut it off fully. Definitely recommend leaving this one on though. You also have your lane assistance, so it keeps you in your lane, blind spot detection, and an active assist. So not only will this vehicle monitor other vehicles if they're in your blind spot, but if I had my turn signal on while there was a car there and I go to change lanes, it'll revert me back into my originating lane to avoid a blind spot collision. This car's really smart, eh?
Yeah,
like really smart.
Definitely.
For parking safety, we have rear cross traffic safety. So if I'm backing out of a busy parking mall, it'll let me know if there's an obstacle or pedestrian coming from either which way, so the left or right of the rear of my car. Cool, eh?
Yeah, that one I love the most, especially being on a block with tons of small kids and parents let the kids walk ahead of them and you can't see them, right? Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about what's near our gear shift. So this is always hard to film because the gray and the blue lighting,
let me try and get
it's hard to pick up.
You know what it is? It's this there. Wait, okay, we're going to keep it there.
All right.
Talk about that one quickly.
Drive mode. Okay, so we can cycle between 3 different drive modes with this vehicle: normal, sport, and smart. Changes the way your vehicle performs. It's not a gimmick. It truly does change your vehicle. We also have this button here that pulls up our camera. So this is a reverse camera. Super good quality. And then if I did actually have my car in reverse, it would give me parking guidelines so I can see where my car is going to end up. We also have an electronic parking brake right over here and our auto hold feature. For the cup holders, I absolutely love these because they're not your average cup holders. These are huge and they're very deep. So if you have a very tall like tumbler glass or tumbler cup, it will hold your entire drink. You don't have to worry about knocking it over. And then you can pull that out and switch it. Isn't that cool?
Why?
To change the height. So
it changes the height. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Now it's shorter.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I'm the guy from Hyundai, but you know, these things I don't think of, right?
Yeah. Seriously, these are so deep. They're super deep. Switch them over, it's just a regular cup holder. So, pretty cool.
You go from a small coffee to a big gulp.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
That's cool. I didn't even know that.
We have our center console here. Nothing too fancy. Pretty good size, I guess. Clips right back. I will mention I have a 32-ounce water bottle that I carry with me everywhere. It does not fit in the cup holders of my car at all. So I always put it in the passenger seat. If a passenger comes into my car, they freak out. They want to toss it in the back. I say, no way. You're holding that. You're putting that in your lap.
No, you're going in the back. I'm buckling
you're going in the back.
Yeah.
My water bottle's staying here. But my water bottle did fit in here. It didn't go all the way down, but it could sit over there.
Yeah,
so.
as long as it's like enough that it's snug and it doesn't like.
Yeah, it won't fly away. So I'm not going to say I'm trading in my Forte on this, but I might be trading in.
Yeah, no, but it's a nice car to be in once in a while. Yeah.
I got our sunroof right up here, so it's a very, very wide sunroof. Standard size, does open, so you can tilt it, or you can have it actually open.
The air feels good.
La-di-da. It does go back a little bit further. All right, let's check out the back.
Okay, I'll tackle off two little things here because I love mentioning this part. I love this little side set pocket here. I mean, it's good for a phone or, honestly, as a driver, I'll tell you, I put my change in there because I hate looking at my change in here. It's like an eyesore, so I could reach over. And here's the glove box too. Again, you know, good for receipts or I guess gloves, hence the name. And over here we've got that, we've got that bottle holder, no drinks. They put it at an angle to make sure because they want to keep you safe and not have you splash hot coffee all over yourself.
All right.
And we're in the back.
So I'm going to show you what it would be like sitting behind me if you were me, which is probably not a very common occurrence.
Time travel much?
Yes.
Anyways.
Anyway, so much room. I did not have my seat as close to the wheel as I probably would. And if you guys are looking at this saying, wow, that's a lot of space. You sit way too close. No, this vehicle has a really good amount of legroom. Lots and lots and lots of space, literally the entirety of my forearm. Underneath the seat itself, there's a good amount of room for your feet and just a good amount of space for your legs, width-wise, lengthwise, everything. In the very center, we have a cup holder and armrest. There we go, with two cup holders in the center. No USBs back here, but we do have lighting. The very middle seat is a little bit less comfortable. However, it's not I mean, for a vehicle of this size class, it's pretty standard. You get a good amount of space. I should have mentioned headroom when I was sitting in the main seat, but there's a good chunk of headroom, especially on the highest seat here. And then sitting behind Mike, who had his seat all the way back, thank you for that, Mike, we have about 2 inches of space. So still, I'm pretty comfy. If it was a shorter passenger, definitely they'd be all right. Still room underneath the seat. And then on this seat, we do have some net, or not some, a net pocket.
A net.
We have a net.
Just some.
Just some, only a little bit. Yeah. And then for the doors themselves, they're pretty straight up. Your door handle, your window controls, little storage pocket, and then of course your no drink cup holder.
Yes. Yes.
So as long as it's something that can close, you can put it in there. Anything else, it's on you if anything happens.
Exactly.
All right, now we'll hop out and answer a couple questions.
Yeah, grab this for a second. I'm gonna just sit in the back to maybe prove something to myself here. So it's funny that you could still see that there still is 2 inches, and it's kind of what I'm speaking about. The way they make this design is with the seat in on an angle, it's gonna bring, even if I'm taller, my knees are, so if someone was a little taller, it would just be like this.
Yeah.
And like this. So it's very mindful. So thinking that you might be 2 inches taller and, oh no, it's gonna work for me. Well, it just worked for me because the angle just brings your knees higher instead of pushed more forward. So that's a good thing, I think, to mention because, yeah, don't let yourself hesitate if you go, I'm a foot taller than Mike. That's not gonna work. Oh, whoops.
Had an awkward moment with the camera. It was very up close.
Yeah.
We gotta get the car in. Hold on. It's always so hard controlling this. Okay. There we go. So we'll stand to the left.
Is that good? We're good.
Can you still read the screen?
Perfect, yes.
Okay.
So I saw a lot when we were filming, a lot of people were comparing it to the N and the N line.
Yes.
Obviously, this is not the top trim. So I'll tackle off a couple, 2 or 3 questions while you do that I saw that I wanted to answer. No, it does not have the left and right turn signal cameras that you can see on, on the dash. Yeah, and stuff like that. Those are the ultimate trim levels. Yes, one person was right with the N. They have the strut bars in the back. So putting down the seat wouldn't be as convenient if you're buying IKEA furniture. So definitely changes it up a little bit.
Let's see. So someone said Hyundai should consider putting in some more sound denting material to be a true luxury trim. So I found when I was driving this vehicle, I didn't connect my phone to Bluetooth because it's not my vehicle and I don't want to forget to take it off. I was just listening to the road. I didn't even turn on the radio. I sound like a psychopath saying that. But it was quiet, very, very quiet. And the roads here aren't the greatest.
Yeah, no.
So
I don't even... Wait, I'm a psychopath? I don't listen to anything.
Yeah,
I'm just in my own head when I drive.
You're a psychopath.
Yeah, I am. It's the only time I get to think without noise. So honestly, on my way to work, an hour, I don't listen to anything. I just listen to myself in my head. Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Someone said, hi, Gabi, can you pronounce my name? I can try. I would pronounce Nishant.
Yeah.
Yeah, for your first name. What's the circle on the panel left of the driver's display for? So that little thing.
Okay, I'll describe that. Okay, so on this trim, what basically Hyundai did was, and I'm not a fan of this part, and I'll admit it, is that's basically just a space holder for something they might put in the future, right? So it does absolutely nothing at this point. Some people think it's a clock. Some people think the higher trims have something in it. No, it's just literally just a space that's kind of a placeholder if they're going to do or not. It's meant to obviously also give that depth or to the width to the screen as well, but I would like to have seen it being utilized for something. I don't like in vehicles where...
I thought when I first saw it in photos, it was going to be like some sort of phone mount, like a magnetic phone. I know, but like...
That's a good idea though, when you put the sticky one on. That's a good idea. Yeah. Use that space to mount your phone on there. Just get the stick or the magnetic pad.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I dislike it when vehicles... when you get a trim that's lower and then it's like where the ventilated seat button is because it's a button, but it's not a button that works.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that stuff.
Like blank buttons.
Yeah, I think you should just not, because it's just, for me, it reminds the person of, oh, I don't have the best one, right? Like, so it does nothing, guys.
Okay, where did it go? I lost it. Is the hybrid luxury the only one that comes with LED headlights? Asked Ryan. So Ryan, in Canada, only the N-Line Ultimate gets the full LED projection headlights. So even the luxury hybrid still only has LED daytime running lights, but halogen actual bulbs. So for the main headlight unit.
Illuminating logo, I like that idea. Maybe
yeah,
on
that would
the
be
Ultimates.
amazing.
Yeah, especially on the Palisade Ultimate. Cali for sure. 2 Teddys to fit in the back. Yeah, maybe we'll get Teddy a partner and try that out. But at this point, Teddy's been through so much that the partner will look very, very lively and very vibrant, right? So.
As soon as you start using turn signal cameras, you'll never look at the side no more.
No, I don't even.
Look.
Yeah, I have in mine. I have them. I never look at them. I guess it's just a force of habit. I'm still also the guy that puts his hand behind the passenger when I'm reversing, and I use my own kind of instincts.
My favorite thing about those turn signal cameras and what I absolutely love it for is if I'm parallel parking, to double check my parking, I'll turn my signal on just to see, because it shows you exactly where both of your wheels are, right?
Yeah, when you're paralleling, especially with, and you don't want to kind of rash the curb, for sure.
Just to make sure I did a good job, because there's nothing more embarrassing than getting out of your car, looking at your car, like, oh.
And you can really,
run away.
And you can really show off because you get it really close and be like, I just did that without anything. But
I
the camera.
just did that. AJ Jordan asked, is there an electric version? So not for the Elantra, but Hyundai does have the Ioniq 6, which is a fully electric sedan. So definitely bigger than the Elantra, but yes. Okay. Can I buy a car and pay the full amount with cash? So you can't do cash money.
No.
Like bills.
Can they do it here if they bring a receipt proving they got it from the bank, though?
Haven't run into that yet.
I've done that once. I did that once when I bought a used car a while ago, and I had the receipt saying I took it out from the bank, and then they go, why don't you just get a draft? And I'm like, okay, I was young, so I just wanted to, it was cool.
It just feels good to have that much cash.
It was a cheap car, so it wasn't that much cash. Yeah.
I believe under 10 grand we can take full cash, but anything above has to be a bank draft.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the new Hyundai style? I like it. I like how they're following the same suit, especially when you look at the new ones coming out with the 24s, the Santa Fe, the Sonata, the Kona, with that nice kind of just like strip light across the top in the front. I like that.
Let's see. Okay, so James made a couple comments about what's on the N-Line Ultimate. So yes, the N-Line Ultimate has a completely different rear suspension, different wheels, of course, different engines. So you get a 1.6 turbo instead. Dual clutch transmission, definitely very different styling.
It's a sports car.
Yeah,
it's fast. It's great, different styling, way better handling. Like it's got all the stabilizers in it. I mean, it's night and day.
Yes.
When I drive this, let's put it this way: I'll take this home. I'll take home an N. It's a different car to me.
Well, N-Line.
N-Line.
So there's an N-Line
even
and
still, and the N-Line has where you could take off the traction or the, what do you call that? Slippage? You don't like that word? You can turn that off, and it's just spinning wheels all day, no matter where you're going on dry road, and it makes it really fun, though, right? You don't get in an N-Line after you saw the new Fast and the Furious movie, right? You want to stay safe.
LSB Jr. said say the outgoing Stinger engine will go into the Genesis G70. Is that true? So the Genesis, it was the G70 and the Stinger have already shared engines for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it's essentially, I don't want to say it's the same vehicle, but same engine. Of course, the Genesis is going to be quite a bit more luxurious.
I know I said because I've heard you say this in the past. Sorry, I'm just surprised.
The Genesis definitely has some more, high-end touches, fancier seats, fancier buttons, all of that good stuff, fancier sound system. But yes, same engine.
Yeah. Is the Kia Rio 100% discontinued? You can confirm that, Gabi?
Arturo, yes. At least in Canada it is. In other markets, they are still keeping the Rio, but in Canada, we are getting rid of it.
Is the Forte GT being redesigned?
The Forte will get a redesign. I believe Pat said it's due for redesign next year. So I assume the GT will stay. I assume, nothing official. And then that would probably get a refresh too, or redesign. All right, I think we should probably end off today's live video. We definitely got a good amount of questions today that actually have to deal with Hyundai.
And that's what we love to do. We love to answer questions about vehicles. We love for you guys to get to know more. I am going to do a little bit of a shout out because I love this. This is a 4-second story, but on my way here, I actually had somebody, shout out to Conrad, AKA K. If your friends are on there, they know him, but he actually said he was there to get a Hyundai. He was actually looking at an American vehicle, but because he saw the video, it convinced him because he felt like he got so much information. So we love when you guys guys ask questions.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he was there to buy it because he felt like we were friends of his showing him a car that we just bought.
Yeah.
So we love to hear that. Keep sending us questions, keep asking us questions, and if we can help you guys make decisions, I mean, that's the whole reason why we're doing this.
And if there is a vehicle, keep in mind we can only get Canadian spec vehicles, so I can't help out my friends in the States or any other country,
Just move
unfortunately.
here.
Just move here.
Yeah, it's all good.
Let us know if there is a vehicle that you want us to film, and as long as we can get our hands on it, we'll definitely film it for you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have some good luck recently, so get it before someone else buys it, right? I mean, get us to get the video before it's bought and we can't shoot it. So.
100%.
Okay, perfect.
All right, thank you again so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Are you gonna end?
Is that it?